through Viswanathan. So without further ado, I wanted to introduce 5-time world champion Viswanathan.
Hello everyone. I'm very excited to be here at the launch of ChessKid in India. I want to take chess to the next level. I think it's very important to be able to connect with kids and teach them the pleasures of chess. Chess develops all sorts of useful skills that will help them not only in playing chess, but also in academics and solving problems in life. But one of the things that chess needs to be is that it needs to be presented in a fun and entertaining way. Because after all, you're competing for the attention with all sorts of other games, and it has to be made fun and accessible using technology. And I think ChessKid.com is perfect for this. I can tell you from personal experience that Akhil enjoys these videos very much. I mean, one day he started explaining to me about the back rank mate, as always this voice that you hear in the video. I mean, you would think I should sit there and teach him, but it has to be very entertaining as well. I hope this will be an important tool to get more and more kids playing chess, and that we can together bring chess to millions. It's a very technologically friendly, effective way. It's very convenient. You have videos explaining concepts which then register much better, and you understand the concept much better than if you see it only on the board. And you'll be able to access it anytime, and that's important. If you look at how chess used to be when I started, I used to go and play in a chess club, and I used to spend my Sundays there, several weekdays there, playing as much chess as I could. Of course, nowadays, the way we learn chess, the way we study chess, the way we play, everything has changed a lot. But the one thing that will never change is that you get better by playing. I mean, I got good by playing lots and lots and lots of blitz games, because every concept that I learned eventually was hardwired into me. Now the same thing will have to happen on the phone, on your PC. You know, through the app, you will play chess as much as possible. That will not change. That's how you get better at chess. But the presentation, the concepts that you learn, all that are so much more accessible and easy to learn these days. That's why we're seeing younger and younger grandmasters. And I hope that we will now have our 64th grandmaster for the square H8, and that would be very nice for my 50th birthday. Anyway, I'm very excited to be here. Thank you all for coming, and let's find out more about ChessKid. Once in a while, because that's the environment you'll face when you're playing in a competition. But we have no shortage of talent emerging these days. And they're clearly learning it in a completely different way than the way I learned it. So I think if you grow up in a certain era, right, you're completely used to that era, and you cannot understand why people say that you should have learned things differently and so on. Right. And equally, I would say that my methods of learning would probably have been disapproved of by people 30 years earlier. So this is a moving target, but I have come to the conclusion that for today's generation, technology will not be a problem at all. Okay. I think if you're young and you're used to learning, I mean, there'll still be a right method and a wrong method. But if the material is available like this, I mean, we have no shortage of amazingly talented players who grow up now, and They all grow up with modern technology.
Okay. And the last question is,
Yeah.
So you talked about clues. So while playing like against a computer, not probably against a physical person, so would the clues actually come in and say, why not do this? Or if you press, I need a hint. So will it suggest a move?
On certain parts of the website, when you're doing puzzles, if you get it wrong, you can redo the puzzle.
Okay.
But when you're playing a live game, you can't get a hint because that...
No, against a PC, not against a physical person, I'm asking.
Right. You can go back and review the game, and you also can get hints during our lessons section. In fact, one of the biggest features of our site, which we did not show you, every video has a curated written lesson that follows the video. And in those lessons, if you get a move wrong, we have already guessed what wrong move a child might input, and we've written out exactly why that move is wrong, which you can imagine takes a long time because in a given chess position, there might be 15 or 20 legal chess moves.
Correct.
So we've already anticipated that. So that's the kind of didactic learning that you're referring to and that exists on a certain part of the website.
Okay, so final question, sorry. So I'm a machine learning data scientist. So we kind of have a predictive score, the chances of winning or whatever it is. So like even if you see yesterday's match, you have the chances of winning at every ball bowled or every score. You have like what are the India's chances of winning. So in this case, if I have like say one rook left, one bishop left, and the king and queen against two rooks and two bishops, what is my predictive score of winning? Is that possible?
That's come up a lot in online chess commentary because the viewer wants to see that.
Yeah.
If you were given that information while you were playing your game, that would be getting assistance, very important assistance, I would say, right?
Yes, I mean, I think it can only work in a training thing. So as you say, if you're playing against a PC, which is much stronger than you, obviously, so you want to even the scales a bit and still learn while you're playing, then it works. But the predictive score should only be for the audience.
There is a part
in
of
cricket, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
But in chess, it does matter. I mean, knowing the evaluation of the position is a critical component in deciding how I'm going to approach the position. So I don't think that will work. But everything else you say should.
You are actually
Yes, sir.
mentor for this ChessKid's. What role you will play in this?
So I will eventually, I think, curate content. I will also maybe decide what kind of lessons work well, what are adequate at certain levels, things like that. So I think I'll help with that kind
But
of thing.
hints will not be given by you. It is given by the computer. When you play chess, the hints.
It doesn't have to be one or the other. Of course, the computer can do the live thing, but I may, if I've given a lesson, let's say, then I may want to put the hints in between, or I may use the computer to put the hints where I think they belong. I mean, we'll have to work out the details, but I'll participate in that kind of content.
We have a very progressive roadmap that will include many Vichy elements. I promise you that.
Hey, this is Deva actually, data analyst. I'm rated international rated chess player as with you, and I'm from same native place from Mayiladuthurai.
Okay.
Okay. So I have a couple of questions. What is the pricing of this portal actually? Is that subscription based or how is it going to be licensed?
So there are two models. There's a freemium model where you get access to all of the capabilities to teach you how to play the game of chess. We have a ton of video lessons. I think up to Queen level 31, there are probably 40 some odd video lessons that will teach kids for free how to play the game of chess. Online live play is 100% free. There is a premium component to it. We're still working through that, but I promise you it will be released very, very soon.
So is this like chess cube, like qubits or some digital currency kind of stuff? So you have to buy and do the tournament and buy and play the game.
I'm not really that familiar with qubits. I apologize, but the vast majority of tournaments can be built or created by the chess club manager or the teacher, and a lot of those tournaments can be hosted for free.
Okay. One more question. So what about the application like iPad app or you have Android apps? What is the platform support?
We have both Android and iOS. Yes.
Thank you.
the website is fully functional on either the website version or either of the apps.
Hi, I'm Asmita. So nowadays, of course, we are trying to keep the kids away from screens because they get so addicted. So how do we do this? Should we introduce them first to the physical chess or along with this? Like, what do you suggest? Because I have also experienced and seen kids even for puzzles, because there are so many interesting apps nowadays and they're all stuck to iPads or phones. So after winning or after getting the hints and clues, they don't want to do the physical stuff, the actual puzzles or stuff like that. So what do you suggest? Should there be a combination of the real thing and learning from the app?
I'd love to see a combination. In fact, I run chess clubs in my city, and ChessKid is an additional tool. We actually use regular chess boards, but ChessKid's unique advantage is that my students can play chess every single day of the week, not just the 1 hour a week that they're in chess club. I'll also tell you that they do thousands of puzzles online because they don't feel like it's work. When I give them a worksheet, it has the word work in the name, okay? Additionally, when I give a whole classroom a worksheet, that worksheet doesn't know if it's above or below the child's level. But when a child is using ChessKid, it's dynamic. So as they get puzzles correct, the website gives them puzzles more curated toward their level. So it's actually better for the student that they're getting more difficult puzzles because they're progressing faster. Also, I don't have to grade the worksheets. It saves me quite a lot of time. And you know, when I was growing up, my mom had to call my friend and drive me to his house to play one single game of chess. It was very inconvenient. So being able to play whenever you want is just a massive, massive advantage. So we believe in both, but ChessKid represents an ability for a kid to just do a lot more chess and a lot more focus to that particular child's level.
Yeah.
So if they get addicted, will they still go to the real stuff?
We hope so. I mean, many of the world's young grandmasters probably got their first introductions online, but the world championship is still decided over the board. It's still decided with a regular chess.
I do have a positive thing also, because any which ways the kids do have screen time, so it's better they do something like this instead of just watching
You'd much
videos.
rather than have be playing chess. And your point is well taken. And another important part of our site, which is actually not necessarily geared towards the kids, it's a classroom curriculum. It's a week by week classroom planner that not only incorporates ChessKid, but even physical classroom activities. So we know that over the board will never die. It's a classic game. It has to be that way. But we have to acknowledge that today's youth are using technology, and you can't have one without the other. They're not mutually exclusive.
One more thing, what age could a kid start? I mean, of course every kid has a different aptitude, but what would you suggest?
We've never explicitly stated what the formal age range is, but we've had kids as young as 4 years old on our site, up to and around 12 or 13 years old.
Okay. Right. Thank you.
Is there any plan to coordinate with the schools, sir? Schools and...
Yes.
Yes, there is. We actually are going to be doing a phased marketing plan where we will be touching about 200 schools across 6 or 7 different states in India. So the whole idea is to let them know that there is a way for them to have access to chess training resources. And ChessKid is really the ideal way to do it. So yes.
Yeah, we would love if kids that are already playing chess to play more chess via ChessKid, but what we really want to do is avail the game to every kid across India and to make it so that you don't have to live near a chess club or a chess school or a chess teacher to learn the benefits of the game.
Right.
Don't be shy. Some great questions so far.
So do you have any plans to go out of India?
We already are what we would call an international website, so our services are available in many countries around the world and even translated in more than a dozen different languages. But what we've never done is formally introduced it, formally partnered up with a world-class player, and formally put together curated lesson curriculum specifically tailored for that country. So yeah, the answer is yes, but India is really our inaugural introduction of ChessKid into a new country with a whole roadmap of different features that we're going to be working on.
So do you have any plans to go to rural parts of India?
So for rural India,
Especially with the schools, government schools and all.
yeah, we are working with a number of personnel who will be able to vet different schools in rural areas who might not otherwise be able to afford ChessKid Premium or subscription-based services. And we believe that once we vet those schools, we actually can give away premium memberships to the right schools, the schools that qualify for it.
Also, one of the things is, since as India is becoming a mobile country, in effect, we'll be able to write that and benefit from that to make chess much more accessible everywhere, all over India. So that's obviously one of the big hopes, that even in India, we have many states which are much stronger than others and so on. I hope this will make chess much more accessible in states where they maybe don't have that head start.
So in terms of regional release, what is the difference from your international site? Maybe is that curated content, or is there any regional language support? How do you differ for yourself from international content to Indian content?
Some of it we're going to take advice from Vishy himself in terms of what he would like to present to the Indian audience. Language support, obviously we will take a look at which languages will likely be the most popular, and then we'll figure it out from there.
Is there a contest or a prize that I can win when I play ChessKid, and is there a contest there and I can win it? Something like that?
Yeah, in fact, we are going to have a contest for the schools that we introduce ChessKid into. So of the 200 or so schools that we introduce ChessKid to, we will be running a 2-stage tournament where we will find winners of the schools, or the top 4 or 5 finishers of the schools, and then they will go on to play at a state level tournament. And those winners at the state level tournament may get a chance to actually get mentored by Vishy.
This is one of the big advantages. We've done this a couple times in the United States. You can have elite chess players playing a tournament without all the costs of travel and all of the, things that are associated with traveling to a physical place. So it's a big advantage to be able to have competitions whenever you want. You guys have a very large country geographically, and it's just so much more efficient to host a lot of the competitions online.
So would that be an FIDE rated tournament, or how is that going for you?
That's a different roadmap. So we're certainly in talks with FIDE about a lot of different activities, but that is a separate roadmap that we'll have to discuss.
We are owned by chess.com, which is the world's largest chess website, with about 30 million members. We have very good relations with FIDE. Online games on ChessKid cannot be FIDE rated for all of the reasons you might expect. But in any case, we plan to have very good relations, and we have some interesting ideas with FIDE coming up.
What's the fees for that?
I'm sorry, in the back? Yes, in the very back, standing.
So what's the fees for that joining?
The
The
fees
premium
premium
is-
membership.
So, I'd like to discuss that offline with you if you don't mind, but yeah, if you don't mind, I'd like to discuss that with you separately.
And sir over here, and joining us on this very momentous day. I've also been practicing my Tamil, so vanakkam, en per Mike Klein. I am the chief chess officer of ChessKid.com, and it has been great being in your country for the last couple of days. My first time in India was actually about 10 years ago. I was only in the north. I was traveling in Dharamshala, walking down the street, and I saw a monk playing chess in a cafe. And I thought, if that guy loves chess, I think I'm in the right place. I didn't know it would take 10 years to return, but this is absolutely the place that ChessKid wants to be. There are so many chess players. There's such a love for chess. There are so many strong, young chess players that, frankly, make my accomplishments look very, very small in the chess world, which is fantastic to see. I've been to probably around 80 countries, and there's only about 3 countries where I can say that the average member of that country can name their best player, and India is one of them. And the other 2 countries are quite small in terms of population that I would put on that list. ChessKid is the world's largest scholastic chess website. We are a website for kids to play and learn chess. There are more than 1 million kids playing on ChessKid. We have had tens of millions of individual games played on our website. The number of puzzles accomplished is even higher than that. We are the foremost and respected, safe and fun place for kids to play chess online. We're also the only all-in-one website where you can play live chess, you can do puzzles, you can interact in ways that are beneficial to your chess career, and we're all focused on younger kids getting the educational benefits of the game at a very, very young age. We actually created a special video in honor of Viswanathan Anand and his best chess moves of all time. We're going to be showing that video a little bit later on the screen to give you a flavor and a style for what ChessKid's videos look like. They're probably the most popular part of our website. You all know the man to my right. This has been your country's best chess player for pretty much his entire career. This is Grandmaster Viswanathan Anand. A full explanation of all of what he's accomplished in the chess world would take up the entire press conference, so I'll just give you a couple of career highlights. He is a 5-time world chess champion. He's actually won the championship in every single format that chess offers, making him probably the most versatile world champion of all time. He is the 2-time world rapid champion. He's the former world junior champion. He's India's first grandmaster. In 2012, he was India's Sportsperson of the Year, and he's also the inaugural winner of the Rajiv Gandhi Khel Ratna Award, which is given to your country's best, the highest sporting honor in all of India. He's also one of only 14 men to ever get his chess rating above the level of 2,800. If you're not a chess player, you might not realize what rarefied air that is, so I'll put it in different terms. There's been about as many men who have walked on the moon as there have been men who have gotten over 2,800, okay? So that's pretty hard to do. Before we hear from the legend himself, I'd like to turn the microphone over to the ChessKid's CEO, Carrie Fan, for a few words about the partnership that we're going to be having with Viswanathan Anand.
Great. Thanks, Mike. I'm going to stand up here if you don't mind. Now, back in 2012, I was running a technology company here in India. I've been back and forth to the States for about a dozen times. India is really like a second home to me. So in 2016, when I was asked to join ChessKid, it was really merging my love of chess, my passion for chess and technology, and it was a dream come true. I knew that one day we would have to come back to where the game of chess actually started, right here in India. And I knew that when we had a chance to work with somebody like Vishy, we really had to jump on it. Okay? Vishy has inspired a generation of young chess players, chess talent. And then here in India, there are great talents like Pragnananda, Nihal, Gukesh. It's just brilliant what they've achieved. But not all kids have the ability to get those types of training resources that they need. So really, the one way to get to that is through technology. Technology is the way. And if you were to design the perfect chess training technology tool, what would it be? It would be something that has a ton of videos, something that has tons of puzzles that kids could solve. It would even have games that they can play online against their peers in their home country or kids around the world. It would even have a way for the in-classroom teacher to teach their own students how to play the game of chess. Okay. So I wanted to show you a quick flavor for what ChessKid actually looks like. So video, please.
ChessKid.com, the world's largest chess website, is thrilled to announce a partnership with 5-time world champion Grandmaster Viswanathan Anand, undisputably the best Indian player of all time. Some would say the best chess player of all time. And what better way to show off how much joy he's brought to his fans by taking a look at his 3 best chess moves of all time. In this first position, it looks like the black king is tucked away safe, but not for the tiger from Madras. He opens up the king like a can of worms with rook takes e6. And after pawn takes, let's throw some more wood on the fire. Bishop to e7 check, uncorking the queen's attack on the bishop. And after the king captures, he got the bishop back. The king would love to travel backward, but the rooks need to stay connected, so the king ends up walking the plank. Knight takes d4, opening up the d file, and threatening knight to b5, forking the king and the queen. Now the queen runs away to avoid the fork, but then bishop to f5, a bolt from the blue. That opens up the rook's line on the king. It double attacks the e-pawn, and although the pawn did not take the bishop back, we're going to take a look and see what happens if it did. We would have seen knight to b5 double check, and whether the king goes left or right, there's going to be a mate. King c6 would be the worst option, because queen takes d7 would be a mate with the black king right in the middle of the board. Vishy's second best move of all time comes with another d-file issue. This time, the queens look like they're about to talk to each other, but the bishop's in the way. So Vishy opens the door, but where to move the bishop? We'd love to give check, but there is no way. Black's king looks like he has just enough defense, but not to Vishy. We have bishop to g6, literally putting the bishop on what seems like the worst possible square. The bishop can be captured with two different pawns, but if it is captured, Vishy's queen snags the enemy queen. So instead, the knight hopped back to e7, but we want to see what would have happened if the queen had captured. And if so, Vishy would have brought all of his friends to the party. Rook takes e6 check. This pawn is pinned, so the king has to run sideways, but then the dark square bishop plays. Bishop takes h6 check, and look at that poor black king. He only has one move. Bishop takes f7, and I would not want to be black in this position. A very sad way to end the game. But Vishy's #1 move of all time came in 2013 in one of the most famous chess tournaments of all time. In this position, his bishop is in danger. You'd think he'd save it, but no, he puts another piece in danger, seemingly twice, with the unbelievable knight on d to e5. This move must have brought the house down. If anything gets captured with a white pawn, white ends up getting mated. For example, if f takes knight, then we would have seen queen takes d4 check, king moves over, and then a queen sacrifice on g1. The rook has to be the one to capture, and then knight to f2 mate. If we go back to the starting position, let's just say instead the bishop was captured with d takes c5, then we would have still seen queen to d4 check, king to h1, knight to f2 check. Rook takes f2 doesn't save white, because after queen takes, there's too many checkmates on the back rank and on g2. So let's just say the king moves sideways. Then we would have seen the very famous smothered mate, knight to h3 double check. King moves over, queen to g1 check, forcing the rook to take, and then the king is smothered by his own pieces, which allows knight to f2, the prettiest checkmate in chess. We're very excited to have Vishy bringing this fun, this excitement, and the joy of chess to his native India.
Thank you. So,
Vishy, did I get the analysis right?
So ChessKid is really the perfect technology tool. We at ChessKid, we've always felt that technology is really the great unifier, and it would be a way that we could get chess into the households of millions of kids across India. So why chess? I think everybody here understands that chess makes people smarter. It teaches them to think with mathematical frameworks. It teaches them to make better critical thinking decisions. I myself have used chess concepts as a way to guide my own life decisions. And why here in India? Well, besides the fact that India is where it all started, India is really a rising talent for chess. There are 63 grandmasters here in India alone, and India is now the 4th strongest team in the entire world. So we knew that we had to come back to India. Well, today is a very, very special day for us because it really marks our official introduction of ChessKid into the Indian market. And who better to help us lead that way to spread chess, the love of the game, to the Indian chess world than
playing chess at the age of 8, so which was roughly around the year 2000 or 2001, where Viswanathan won his first world championship in Delhi and then in Tehran. And at that time, we didn't really have any access, any technology. None of us had mobile phones and so on. There was no internet, and I had to rely on my monthly copy of Chessmate, which was published in Chennai, and just wait at my door for the bell to ring. But here with ChessKid, we have any kid can log in and just have access to millions of puzzles and videos and so on. And it just makes me think that, or hope that I was born 15 years later to be able to access all of this right now. And then I had to wait about 7 more years from the age of 8 to have access to internet, and still it wasn't as much as, it didn't have as many resources as we have with ChessKid. And still, I think I always knew or idolized, and I'm sure many of the other chess peers of mine, we always had we had paper clippings of Vishy or news articles in magazines and so on, but we never had a chance to actually connect to Vishy. And I think it is with this medium that kids can actually get in contact, be interactive, and also be mentored by the man himself. And it's actually our pleasure and an honor to have 5-time world champion Viswanathan Anand with ChessKid. And we hope to have a great run in India. And thank you.
Thank you, Rakesh.